Hey everyone, Brendan here from Earth Bites. Time to do our spring kit harvest today. We've had a bunch of really hot, really dry weather, and that actually, with these green plants that we planted, stressed the plants out quite a bit. You can see everything is quite tall and bolting, which means it's going to flower, it's going to seed. And once it starts to go to seed, the leaves lose a lot of their flavor. They get really bitter. So now's the time, if this is happening to you, now's the time to get it out. I'm going to show you how to do that today. We've got a jungle in here, so we're going to be working our way from the front to the back and get everything out of here so we can whip up a nice salad or a smoothie. So before you start, you're going to need a couple of tools for this. Not the same as what we were doing for the gardening. You're going to want a nice clean bowl, and you're going to want a pair of scissors. You want these both to be clean, not something that you use for garden stuff, because that could have bacteria, things like that on it. So we're going to start here with the radishes. So we've got these radishes that have started to bolt and gone to flower here. We're just going to gently just pop it out. We'll shake off some of the dirt. We want to try and get as little dirt contamination into our bowl as possible. Now, we can just break this guy off, just like that. You can either wash this off before you put it in the bowl. I tend to just sort of wash everything all together. But we'll brush off as much of that. There we go. All right, now, the other thing I'm going to show you about these radishes is the leaves. Most people think that that's the only part that you can eat, but the radish leaves are edible as well, and they're great in a salad. They got a little bit of spiciness to them, kind of like a mustard green. So I'm going to save some of these radish leaves as well to add to the salad. Just keep things separate when you're taking it inside, because if you're making a smoothie and you add the radish leaves to the smoothie, that might be a little bit too much. All right, so we're going to go ahead and harvest the rest of these radishes, and then we'll be able to get into the next greens that are in behind it. So as we were pulling some of these out, we noticed some of these have a little bit of insect damage. Now, what's great about this was the part that was sticking up out of the ground. So that's the part that's easily accessible. There's still half a radish here that's still really good. And of course, all the greens are still really good as well. So don't toss the whole thing out just because a little bit of it has some insect damage. Salvage some of it, throw the rest in the compost. All right, so now that we're done with the radishes, we're gonna work our way in through the greens. Now, again, like with the radish greens, a word of warning, we're going to want to keep some of this stuff separate, because we put some mustard greens in here, and you're not going to want to put those in a smoothie along with those radish greens. You'd get a big surprise if you did that. So if we come down here, we look, here's some of our mustard greens right here. And if you don't know, because actually it looks like we've got some spinach mixed in here. If you don't know, give it pull off one of the leaves and give it a quick taste. All right, that's going to give you, that's the spicy mustard right there. You don't want that one going in a smoothie. It's great in a salad. Don't overdo it. Add a little bit of it because it adds a bit of a kick to your salad, but make sure you keep those ones separate. So I'm going to pull out all of the mustards right now so I can keep those separate with the radish greens, and then we'll work on our arugula and our spinach. Now, what I'm going to do with these is I'm actually just going to cut some off right down at the base. That's going to allow me to keep the soil out of the way, and then I'm just going to pop the leaves off, pop them in a bowl. All right, there's our spicy greens out of the way. Now we can move into the spinach and the arugula. Those are going to be great in a smoothie or great in a salad. So same way we did with the mustard greens. So here's a nice spinach right here. Just pop this guy off, trim off the leaves. You can break these. They break off very easily, or you can cut them. And we'll get rid of the stem. Arugula's back here. Here's some of our arugula. And we've got some kale in behind it we'll get at. So here's some of our nice arugula leaves. Again, you can just pop the leaves right off. The small ones are going to be very nice and tender. And those ones are going to be fine to mix together because they, like I said, they could go with either the smoothie or the salad. So go ahead and harvest the rest of these, and then we'll finally be able to see our kale. All right, so we got our nice big bowl of greens here. We've got arugula and spinach in this one. So now we've pulled out all of our other greens, our mustard, our radishes, our arugula and spinach. And there was a corn salad in there as well that kind of got lost in the mix of everything. So I just want to show you what you're going to want to do now before we get into the kale that's in behind here. Because we cut everything off, we've left the roots in there. It's not going to grow back anymore. So just go through here, pop everything out. Do this after, so that way the dirt that's sort of flying around doesn't get all caught up in your greens. And all this stuff here, tossed in the compost. All right, we're getting there. We're down to our kale and our peas. So I want to show you two different methods for dealing with the kale. Method number one would be the exact same thing we just did with all the other greens, where you cut it off, pull off all the leaves. So here's a nice little one right here that's sort of perfect to do that with. So we'll snip this guy off, get rid of some of these old leaves, and just like we did, pop off the leaves. Now, if we look at this guy right here, he's much bigger. He's got some older growth. There's some older growth around it, the larger leaves, and then there's still some new growth, and this will actually keep going. It hasn't bolted yet. This could keep going. I've kept kale alive for 2 years if you water it quite frequently. They like to have lots of water. So what we're going to do is we're going to go from the base up, and we're just gonna, you can do this with scissors. I find if I just pinch it and give it a little twist, we can pop it off. Now this guy right here has been eaten. There's a lot of bug damage on that, so I'll get rid of that one. But this one's perfect right here. And I'm just gonna go, and I'm gonna take off about 60% of the leaves. So I'm gonna leave these last little ones right here, and I'll let them keep growing. And take off all the ones around the base that aren't that good, because that's going to help us control bugs throughout the summer as well. There'll be nothing close to the ground for them to eat, but I'm going to leave these top leaves. That'll keep it growing again. You can get another harvest out of this easily. So we'll do that with the rest of our kale plants now as well. So we've cleared out all of our space. There's a few weeds left around and things like that. What you're going to want to do now is if you're getting ready to plant something for summer and there's still lots of time, you could put, you could put some beans in here, it would grow really well. You could put some squash, tomatoes, whatever. You've got lots of space and you've got lots of time to be able to do that. We've still got a bit of kale growing, and we've still got our peas. And as long as, again, these are in the south, or in the north on this side, so the sun's coming from the other way, so we're still going to have lots of sun for whatever summer crops you want to be able to grow in here. Pop some carrots, pop some beets in. All of those things are going to do really well, and won't get in the way of these back ones. You can remove all of these as well, but I'm going to show you a way, like we did with the kale, to keep your peas going as well. So let's go take a look at the peas now. All right, with peas, we've actually got two edible parts. We've got the pea, obviously, that everyone knows. We've got a little guy growing right here. And if you want to find the big ones, you're going to have to go further down. And I saw some down in here earlier when I was looking for the kale. Yeah. Where did they go? Oh, here we are, right over here. There's a nice, they like to hide the peas. So you can just, again, grab, twist, pop them off. This is a great one for your kids. If you got kids, send them through here because it's almost like a treasure hunt. It's like Easter, only with peas. The second part of the pea that's edible is this shoot. Now these peas have grown quite big, and we don't need them growing anymore. But what we do want to keep on here is these flowers, because these flowers are going to turn into new peas. But you can see where it's starting to shoot up again. we can snip that off. We got another really nice one right over here. Here's a nice long one right here. That's going to sort of slow the growth of them. It's going to put more energy into the flowers that are already on here. And these pea shoots are absolutely delicious. And actually, if you try and buy them, they're going to cost you a lot of money. So if you got a bunch of pea shoots on your plants right now, give them a try. You'll love them. So I'm just going to go and snip off a bunch of shoots and take a look and see what other peas I can find in here. So there we go, our nice big bowl of greens. We've got our spinach, arugula, kale, pea shoots, peas, all of this stuff right here. Going to be fantastic in a salad or a smoothie. Again, we've got some mustard greens and some radish tops, the radishes. Those are going to be good in a salad. If you're looking for some ideas, in the back of your instruction book we included a recipe for a salad along with a delicious salad dressing, as well as a smoothie that you could try these out in. Hopefully you guys had as good luck as we did, and we can't wait to try this again with you next year. All right, all the best. Thanks.